Hello, cool music here. Yeah, we're on Mixolydian right now. We're gonna play to a jam track in D Mixolydian. So with D, if it was D Mixolydian, which is built upon the fifth degree of the major scale, in this case, if it's D, it's G major scale. So there's a lot of, I'll say it because I've said it in other videos, there's a lot of great videos I would recommend. Look for videos where songs written in Mixolydian, you'll get a lot of cool videos. There's, oh shoot, I keep forgetting the name of this one video. It's by, hang on, Red Hook Guitar. She's a teacher. She does great videos on this stuff. Really great channel altogether. But Rick Beato, he's another one. Free Jam, it's in one of my other videos, Free Jam or something. Fret Jam, I think. They do great videos also, real concise. They don't talk too fast, and there's always a pause button I guess you can hit. But some great videos on the ins and outs of these different modes, and I highly recommend that. I pick up stuff, and I've been doing this for years. So to really immerse yourself in this, because these are each one of these modes has a different quality. So you want to be able to know what you're dealing with. It's like if the recipe calls for salt, you're going to use salt. If it comes from cayenne pepper, you're going to use cayenne pepper. These things are the same way. They're different flavors. They evoke different moods, different things. I won't talk about writing so much with the chords, but like they said, those other videos, and like Rick is great at explaining it. There's another guy, Ed Neely, he's really great at explaining the music. I won't talk about composing, at least not yet, with these different modes, but I will talk about soloing with them, because I think it's important, and this is a great way to start learning how to use modes effectively, really effectively, because as I said before, they evoke different meanings, sound, emotions, colors, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to use to describe what you're hearing and what you're feeling when you hear it. Like I said, check out those other videos. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. D Mixolydian, let's start here. Here's the fingering that I'm going to be using. And it starts on the 10th fret. It's like a D major scale, but it has a flatted 7th, flat 7. So that's 10th fret with your second finger to their pinky on the 12th. Then your first finger, and it really is like the major scale pattern a few videos ago, which is 10, 12, A string, 9, 10, 12, D string, it'll be 9. Here's where it differs from the major scale. It's going to be 9, 10 instead of 9, 11. So 9, 10, 12 on the D string. G string is much the same, which is 9, 11, 12. And then it goes 10, 12 on the B string to 8 on the E string. Now I kind of paused because another way of doing this would be that note, the C note, is still the same as the 13th fret on the B, so it could be played for 3 notes per string. It could be played like this. And then there's your D on the 10th fret. So anyways, from the G string, it's going to go. And you can play it like that. Or whichever way you like. So once again, on the B string, 10, 12, if you want, you can go to the 13th fret. If you don't, then go to the 8th fret on the B string, on the bottom E string. It really depends on where I'm going. If I'm going up, I'll probably So that's kind of where it's at on that. We're going to be playing to, it's called classic rock 80s style. Whatever that means to you, when I hear it, it's kind of power chord rock, a little upbeat. So to me, when I hear this, and this is a good thing to do, I haven't done this in other videos, but this is really kind of how I approach it. Let's pretend, oh, you got a phone call. Well, hey, yeah, man, can you play on this video? Can you play on this track for me? Well, yeah, sure, send it over. So immediately, what I'm going to do is just listen to it and try and hear melodies and try and hear what the song is doing. Does it sound real majorish, real upbeat, real down? You really have to ascertain this. So let's do this together. Gigantic drums. It's cool. So now we know it's powerful. That tells me it's powerful, and I'm probably right. So let's listen to this. It's got a syncopated beat. Da, ba, 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 or syncopated pattern with the music. Da, da. Sounds like a D chord. So okay, so these are clues to what's going on. Oh, anyways, let me mention the track. This is done by it looks like Signals Music Studio. I don't know these guys, but they do great stuff. This is a great video. I'll tell you my criteria for great videos. Sounds great, which most all of them do, but because of the fact that I'm teaching this stuff and that I am assuming you are a, oh man, I got a freaking call. Hang on. Hold on. Anyways, so I assume that, that you're a student of the guitar and you need to place your mode within the context of chord changes, that this has the chord changes that are going by at the time. It's going to become key if we use, which you be able to access or play our arpeggios that we hear. And this will be part of your training. I mean, yeah, okay, you can learn your training anyway, and Rick Beato's got a great course, but let's look at this. Let's try and hear, when you hear that D chord, hold that in your head. You hear the C chord. There's really only a D, C, A minor, and a G in here. So maybe close your eyes and go, okay, that's the D, and that's the... Anyways, the reason for doing that is because your greatest gift as a musician isn't your playing, it's your ears. You have to hear what's going on around you. I'll blah, blah, blah some more, but I kind of put it akin to, if you're a fighter, if you're a boxer, jiu-jitsu, whatever you're doing, if you close your eyes and you just start swinging, you're gonna hit somebody in the ring eventually. But if you know exactly where they're at and you can aim, you can target things, then you're gonna be a much better fighter, boxer, whatever. Not that I like to box, but I guess I kind of like watching it. Same thing here. Yeah, you could jam on, just play this mode and you're gonna hit some right notes. I guarantee it. You're gonna hit some right notes. Somebody might even say, wow, I think he knew what he was doing. I doubt it. Sorry. But a real skilled musician will know exactly what's going on. Here's a great test. When the band's playing, the soloist is up there and I'm jamming, man. I haven't heard this how many times. I was just jamming. If you stop them from playing and ask them one simple question, just say, what is the band playing at this current time? What chord? And he's gonna go, I don't know, man, I'm just feeling the music. Well, that's great. But if the answer is, oh yeah, he's playing a D chord, and that's a great musician. And I'm not saying you have to do this all the time, but it really helps to pay attention to what you're hearing. Maybe you can't identify what chord it is, but you can hear it, you can hear what it sounds like. And that takes years to do. It really does. I could prove it to you if you listen to, analyze some of the great solos out there, and I'm gonna make videos on doing it. The notes they're hitting oftentimes are either the root or the third of the chord. Listen to some great solos by Metallica, Fade to Black. There's arpeggios all over the place in there. Those solos, the famous one, Comfortably Numb. There's arpeggios all over that. And they're not the wrong ones. They're the right ones. They're the chord that's being played at the moment. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. So with those fingerings and the fact that we have a track that's powerful, it's got syncopation. We want to include syncopation in what we're playing. And it's got like 4 basic chords. Let's review what we have here. We have a D, C, a G, and an A minor. So, and where we're at, just to really kind of narrow it down, here's our D arpeggio. Here's our C arpeggio. Right here, starts here. There's also another one up here. But where's our other one? A minor. Oh, anyways, let me go. Duh. Sorry. 10th fret is your root note for the D. Your major third is the 9th fret of the A, and your pinky is playing the 12th fret of the A string. That's a D arpeggio. There's another one here, 12th fret of the D, 11th of the G, 10th of the B string. C, I said, was 9th fret of the D string. The major third is the G string at the 9th fret. Oh, hold on. 10th fret on the D, 9th fret on the G, 12th fret on the G. That's our C. A minor was 12th fret of the D at the A, 10th fret of the D, 9th fret of the G. Let's see if we can find another one. Oh yeah, another one. This could be played a couple ways, just like I said, the scale can too. 10, 13 on the B string, 12th on the bottom E string, or 10 on the B, 8 on the E, 12th on the E. I used that lick in the last video, the Lydian video. Anyways, I digress. Anyways, what other chord did we have? D, C, A minor. Oh, G, duh. G, here it is right here on the 10th fret of the A string. 10th fret on the A string, 9th on the D, 12th on the D. It's also over here, which is 12th fret on the G, 12th fret on the B, 10th fret on the E string. Anyway, so that's what we're armed with. So let's see what's going on, and let's hear what's going on this jam track by Signals Music Studio. It's called Jam Track in D Mixolydian Classic Rock 80s Style. Follow along. Okay, we'll do. Here we go. Syncopated. D. There's our C arpeggio. What did I do right there? I played a couple. Here's a nice little melody. G. So that was the 12th fret on the G. It's total G. I just played it. It's 12, 12 on the G to B, 10 on the bottom string. Then I know that there's a note up here. And actually, here's what I do know. That if we link the Mixolydian up with the minor mode, Aeolian, that I did a few lessons ago, the pattern for that is right here. And I know that there's a G note right up there. I also know that there's a C, there's a D triad up here on 14, 15, 14 on the E, B, and G string. So watch what I do. So G arpeggio. Then I went to the F sharp note, which is the third of D. I played a suspension of that, or just this note right here, the G, F sharp, D. I'm not sure if I went there. And that half step spacing, I know I could do a little half step bend here. So let's play that again. Sounded pretty cool. D. Oh, sorry. C. So there you have it. There's linking two scales together, two modes together, D and E minor. So D Mixolydian to be exact. Oh, let's mention what makes this so unique. D Mixolydian, I said it sounded like a major scale. There's one difference. It's got a flatted seventh. The flatted seventh is huge. It's really huge. It's built upon the fifth degree of the major scale. This, here, I'll play a major scale. Or how about Somewhere Over the Rainbow? But what if I play it with a flatted seventh? Wow, big difference. That second note in that after the high one, the octave, is the major seventh. If we lower that note down a half step, it's the dominance. It's called it's flatted seventh, dominant seventh, same thing. They call it dominant seventh because the 5 chord in our harmony is it's called a dominant 5 chord. It's called the dominant chord. It's got the flatted seventh or dominant seventh in there. Anyways, there's a couple cool things about this. Your 7th chord, like a 7th chord up here, they have that C note. Our 4 chord, that's the 4th note of the 4 chord. In this case, it's a G, 4th note of the G major scale. That's the C note. It's also a minor. This is important. On the if we're dealing with D, if we're dealing with an A chord, A in a G key of G. I know we're in Mixolydian, but follow me on this. The parent key is G. An A should be an A minor. So if we play an A major arpeggio, that's going to mess us up. It's just not going to work. As you'll notice in this progression, there's an A minor. So that would be the arpeggio. That's why a lot of times if you play Mixolydian if you play a blues song using Mixolydian on the 5 chord, you have to be careful not to treat it like a major chord. A good way out of that, and I've never heard a good way out of it, but a good way, in my opinion, how I treat it as a good way out of that conundrum is if you're playing blues, when you hear that 5 chord, go to your pentatonic scale. Go to your pentatonic, your D pentatonic in this case, because you won't have that clashing note. You could play the pentatonic, or you could just think of the whole blues thing as a pentatonic and then start to throw the major notes in it. What am I saying? That here's your pentatonic scale, the blues scale. Drop down there, utilizing the 6th note of there, major 6. That note, you throw that note, your major 3rd. That's why this note's so cool. Then you're going to slip back to the pentatonic. Anyways, so let's play along with this track. Oh, what else are we going to use? Let's review that. So if I'm doing this, because we're going to break out of this right here, we know our C is our important flatted 7th note. We also know that it's an A minor, so we've got that. That's why we got the C there. Anyways, the E minor scale, the parent scale is G. It's going to be A Dorian, B Phrygian, C Lydian, and then the Mixolydian. So those are all the scales we got. I'm going to stay away from the Locrian. We're not going to deal with that right now, but I'll say it again. We got D Mixolydian, E minor, G major. That's the parent. That's the parent scale. A Dorian, and B Phrygian, C Lydian. Who's round? That A minor, I had mentioned that A minor Dorian. Let's play an A minor Dorian. Little pattern there, right? Cool. And because I've said it before, Dorian, a lot of times you could think, substitute your pentatonic licks for there. By pentatonics, I mean your classic 70s licks. Stairway to Heaven lick. That's actually a minor, A minor, but that'll work. There we go. Here's D. There's a C. There's a G arpeggio. Watch this. I did that A Dorian, and it's got this little thing in here. But this note right here, I know that on a D chord, I could suspend it over the D chord. It sounds pretty cool. This is a cool little jam track, because the chords go, and you go D, A minor, C, G. So D, there's my D, A minor, C, there's my C arpeggio, D arpeggio, A minor, and then G. So the G is up here on the 8th fret, 7th fret on the bottom E. Oh, that's on the B string, and then the bottom E string is 7, 10. D is played a little bit differently because we've got to deal with the G to B, but it's 7th fret. There's my suspension, my suspended 4th. And it goes, there's a D to C section. So here's D, here's C. Actually, let's not hit that one. It's a little bit clashy, but that's a C arpeggio. And then our A would just be adding the root note. There's my D again. That's where I'm going to be playing this. G, D, A minor, D. There's my A minor arpeggio. I should have gone to a C. Let's try that. A minor. There's my C. C, G. Oops. I messed it up. Let's try this again. Let's go to A minor, C, G. A minor, C, then G, shoot. I don't like doing that. It's A minor, C, G. Right there. Let's try that. A minor. Oh, D. A minor. There's my D. C. Oops. So you get the idea. Doesn't have to be all arpeggios, and it shouldn't be, because it'll get kind of weird, kind of like that was. But maybe start out with just one arpeggio. That somewhere along the line of this whole little progression, you're gonna hit a D arpeggio somewhere. Practice it, and then when you see that, because I'm watching this video, when you watch the video pop up, oh, D chord. Let me get to the D chord. And the rest could be just goofing around with the Mixolydian. So. What else am I going to say about this? That C is hugely important. If we play the C against the D chord, that is part of the identifying factor in this mode. So watch, here's a D. There's that D. Sorry, C. And funny, with the C obviously will work over the C chord too, but there's a little bit of cringiness. It could resolve as a fourth going into the G arpeggio. Where is that? Let's go back a little bit. Here. C. There's a D. So, what else do we have to say about this? That's pretty much it. Work out your pattern. It's just before it's the Lydian and Phrygian. So maybe go. Here's an exercise for you. Think B Phrygian to a D Mixolydian. Forward on Phrygian. Slide up 2 frets and come back down on Mixolydian. Or halfway up, halfway through Phrygian, slide up. Or here's how you could think of this. Or and then scoot down. So I'm playing 8, 10, 12 on both the B and the E string. Then I'm gonna go down 1 fret and play 7, 8, 10 on both strings because of the pattern. And then start coming up with melodies. There's our A minor arpeggio. And then there's our G arpeggio. And then, so. If we look at this, sorry, it starts on the E note on the 7th fret. How about finding an E note here? Nah, not sure if that works. Let's just leave it right here for now for the Mixolydian. The next and the last we have is a Locrian, and that's pretty cool. So have fun. I'm gonna probably make another video with some tips on this stuff. So, all right, have fun. Take care.